So in this video, we're going to be looking at the syntax. And when we say syntax, syntax means rules. These are the rules that determine how you write your expressions or how you write your statements in a programming language. So syntax is kind of related to grammatical rules. Let's say you want to make a statement in a language such as English language. You have to observe the grammatical rules. When we say grammatical rules, we're looking at spellings. You have to be mindful of your spellings. You have to be mindful of your punctuations. You have to be mindful of your capitalization. You have to observe the sentence structure. So when you observe the grammatical rules, you can be able to write meaningful and coherent statements or sentences. So when you bring this to programming, if you are to write meaningful statements or expressions in a programming language, you have to observe the syntax. So we'll start by looking at the comments. So what are comments? Comments happen to be a way in which you provide more explanation or provide clarification or provide text that serve as a reminder to yourself or to other programmers that you are working with. So in Python, any piece of text that is preceded by the pound or the hash symbol is considered a comment. So when we have something like this, my first program, this is a comment. You can have something like this is a function. This is a comment also. So in Python, we have two types of comments. We have the single line comment, we have the multi-line comment. So this is an example of a single line comment. This is a single line comment, and if you look, you can see that it only spans across one line. So, but if you want to write comment that span across multiple lines, you have to use the multi-line comment. And for you to do multi-line comments, you have to use a triple quotation sign. So you can have something like this, and then inside these triple quotes, you can provide your comments. You can say, this is a program that calculates numbers. You can have something like, maybe this is author. You can say this is Bona Akubwe. Then you can also decide to provide maybe date. You can have something like 3/3/2024. So if you look very well, you can see that this comment spans across multiple lines. So, and because of that, this is called a multi-line comment. You can also indicate a multi-line comment by using single, triple quotation signs, like the ones you saw here are doubles. So you can have something like this. So this is also a valid way of indicating a multi-line comment. So whichever one that you want to use, ensure that you are consistent. The opening should match with the closing. So that's for the comments. And then another thing about comments is that comments are not executable. So when the Python interpreter comes across comments, it ignores them. They are just tests that provide clarification to your code and not actually executable code. So when you try to run this program, once the Python interpreter comes across the comment, it skips through them. It doesn't execute them. So now we're going to be looking at variables. So let's start by giving this example. Let's say we have number is equal to 10. So you can see there is a number here, and then there's an equality sign here, and then there is a value 10 here. So this one is the variable. Then we have the equality sign, which we use to assign this variable to this value. So in essence, the value 10 is assigned to the name number. This means that I can always refer to the value using the name. For instance, if I want to print out 10, I can easily say print number. So if I run this code, and if you look through my terminal, you can see 10. So let's say we have something like this. Maybe we have num1 is equal to 5, and we'll have num2 is equal to 6. I will say maybe result is equal to num1 plus num2. I will say print results. So if we run this code, we're going to get 11. So num1 is a variable that is associated with the value 5. Num2 is a variable associated with the value 6. And then the result is also a variable. And as you can see, I don't have to write 5 directly here. I can just mention the num1 and then it will go and fetch the 5 for me. I can also mention num2 and it will fetch the value 6 for me, so that when I say 5 plus 6 or num1 plus num2 is going to give me 11. So when I print results, it's going to give me 11. So keep in mind that there are some rules to be observed when naming your variables. And one of the rules is that valid variable names start with alphabets. So if you look at the num1, you can see that the first letter there, the first character there is an alphabet. So this is a valid name. A variable name can have alphabet and numbers, but it cannot start with a number. So if I have something like 1 here, this nullifies the validity of the names. So this means that I cannot start a variable name with a number. Also, I cannot use symbols as part of variable names. So when I have something like this is not a valid variable name because of the symbol. I cannot have something like this. I cannot have this. So these are invalid variable names. Also, I cannot use keywords or reserved words. There are certain words in Python that have special meaning to Python, so you cannot use such names. For instance, I cannot use pass. This is a keyword. I cannot use if is a keyword. I cannot use yield. It's a keyword. So you're not allowed to use Python keywords as names for your variables.